Now we can implement that things. How we can implement according to this diagram, we can implement that things. Okay, just minimize this. We can create here component. First, we create here component that is a parent component. Okay. NGGC parent. I use the name as a parent. Also, one more component I will create here, child one component. Okay. Then also I will require child two components, so I create a child two as well. So initially first I map that parent one component. Here I think parent. Yes. First I can copy that selector and map in our app component. Okay. Initially, what is the switch derivative? I can comment that things to understand better concept. So I'm just rendering our parent component. Now this parent component has app component is a parent, app component has its child is a parent component. Okay, same scenario according to diagram. Okay, here app component is your parent. They have child one component. Your child one component is nothing but here parent component. Correct. Now in a parent component, we can map your child one component. I created here child one component. We can copy that selector app child one and we can map it in your parent view file. Here just I can spread out. We use a HR for your understanding, and you can map here app child one. Okay. Now what will the output see here? Parent verse and child verse. Okay. Now our preliminary things we done. That is a parent-child relationship establishment. Clear these things? Okay.
Yes, Sumit.
Yes, Sumit.
Sumit.
Yes, Sumit.
Okay.
Sumit.
Now fine. We can use input a decorator. We can send parent component to child component. We can send a data from parent component to child component. For that, we use input decorator to send data from parent component to child component. Up now, now here data is in which format? Which type of data we can send? So that data will be, it is in string format, it is in number format, or it is in JSON object, or it is an array, or it is an array of objects. Okay. Any type of data you can send it from your parent to child. There is no any restriction. Only you can send string data, number data, nothing. You can pass, you can send any data. JSON, array, array of object, number, string, boolean, any type of data you can. Okay. So initially we can pass a string data. For that, in a parent component, we create a dynamic properties because we always deal with the dynamic property. That is a class property. We not deal with any hard-coded or static data. So I also recommend to you, all of you, always create a property. What the data you have to send from one component to the another component. So here I'm creating str data. Okay. Str stands for string. Shortcut form, I mentioned that str. We use a string format, and you can mention here. I just you learn Angular 12 from and learn from Sumit Raupande. Okay. Okay. That data is I have to send to your child component. So how we can send that here? In parent component, we map already app child one. In that, we have to create a custom attribute. Okay. Now, in the property binding, I already told that we can apply property binding on HTML attribute. You can apply property binding on directive, and you can apply the property binding on your custom attribute as well. So here we create a custom attribute. Okay. And that custom attribute should be a bind. Means you have to use a property binding. In that we can mention here parent str data. Okay. That is your custom attribute name, parent str data. We can bind that str data. That str data property is created in your parent component. Okay. Now, parent str data, this attribute we have to create in your child component. So come into the your child component. Okay, and just split the screen for your understanding purpose. Okay, in the child component, we create it as a property that a parent str data whose type is a string. Initially, we can set it as a blank. Now, if you are mentioning in that way, child one component understand parent str data is a property of that class. Okay. But if you have to notify that component that parent str data, that data will be hold from the parent data. Okay. For that, we have to mention the decorator at the rate input decorator on that property. So at the rate input decorator, it is a it is a property level decorator. Okay. It gives error because I'm not be imported this input decorator. So it's giving the error. Okay. So I have to import that input decorator in your import section that present at the rate angular/core package. You can mention here input. Okay. Then it not be showing any error. At the rate input, it is a field level or it is a property level decorator. Before that property, we have to mention that at the rate input. Then and then that child one component understand whatever the data is received, this property, it data is comes from your parent. Okay. Now we can parent str data, we can just display that data in your child HTML file. We can use for that h2 tag, and we can just display that data, parent str data. Okay. Now check whether it is display that data in your child component. See here, you learn Angular 12 from Sumitra Khande that data is sent from your parent component and that is visible in your child component. It is called component interaction, means we can send data from parent to child component.